Once I have this blank topology, blank page, I can build my topology. All I need to do is click here, this icon, and GNS3 will open this sidebar for me. So I need to drag and drop a couple of routers. On this topology, I need 5 routers. So I will drag and drop and write down 5 and click OK. When I was dragging it, I was holding Shift. So I have all these routers. This is how I like the topology to be, and that is how. And I will just zoom out for a second so it will look good. Okay, and I will take a switch, just Ethernet switch, basic switch, and I will change the icon. You will see when I finish building the topology how good it looks. I'm doing it this way because I don't want to start in the middle of a sentence saying, oh, I already built the topology, all the initial configuration has been configured, we need to configure EIGRP. No, that's not how I would like if I was in your position to be. So you need to bear with me while I'm building the topology. Sometimes I might stop the whole video and do something and say, oh, this has been done, because it's just not important for the video, for the lecture. So what I will do is I will select all and right click, change host name, and I will start with R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, and I will just name it as a switch. I already name all. Then what I will do is I will connect them. I will connect them this way, choose the port that I wanted. Okay, and I will put the topology on once I finish my connections. Okay, I finished my connections. What I will do is I will put it on, and while it's booting up on either way, we have to wait. I'm just going to make this topology look good, and I will pause the video and come back. I'm putting the final touches to the actual topology. So you can see all I've done is I changed the switch's name to the IP address of that I'm going to give, and let me zoom in. And what I've done is I give these IP addresses. No configuration has been done yet. So all I've done is I just click here and write the IP address that I want, like that. Yeah, and just copy it a couple of times, and that's it. Yeah, so if you were following along, you can do that, and you can rename the routers this way by, if you wanna, obviously you know how to rename it, but if you want to change the color, you just right click, edit text, and you change the color here, any color you want, and you can just select the font size as well. So anyway, we need to console them in. We can do it in two ways. Either we can do it right click and console it in individually, or we can console all of them at one time by clicking here, that icon. Once we click it here, the software that you use for to console in, the terminal software that you use, will bring all the console windows is to open. It depends which one is it. The one I'm using is Secure CRT. So our routers have been put up. Okay, we're not going to waste time of the initial configuration. I already have a template, so in this template will be provided for you to use, and all you need to do is just copy and paste, and that's it. So let's go to global configuration mode, global configure, yeah, configure terminal, and right click, and the terminal the template that you have on your clipboard will be copied and pasted. So we have all our initial configuration there. Let's verify, show IP interface brief. We have all our interfaces there. All our loopback interfaces are up, which is good. So let's do that to R2 as well. copy and paste. I have that in my clipboard, so all I need to do is just go to global configuration mode and right click. Once I right click, it will paste all the configuration I have there. I will do it for R3, 4 and 5 and come back to you in a second. All the configuration have been pasted. So if all the routers have a initial configuration, show IP interface brief, and you can see R5, we are in R5 now, and all the configuration is there. So let's do some verification. I'm going to test from R5. I'm in R5 now, and I will bring R4 and see if I have connectivity into this interface. So let's go back to the R5 and bing. What was the IP address? 45.1.1.1. Should be successful. Yeah, that's success. That's good. And let's go to R1 and bing one of the addresses, 172.16.10.4. Should be success as well. Okay, that's good. So we have a basic connectivity. What I will do is I will start with R1 and enable EIGRP autonomous system 100, and I will do all of them. And once we finish all the configuration of EIGRP, we will start injecting these routes into EIGRP, and our routing table will be very interesting. Yeah, so let's go and do that. Okay, let's open this and go to global configuration mode. We are in router 1. Once you are in global configuration mode, you can start with router, EIGRP, and autonomous system 100. If you use the sensitive help, you can use 65,585 numbers, but you can use between 1 up to 65,585. So what I choose to use is 100. It's entirely dependent on you what you want to do, but you can choose. The range is between those two numbers. Okay, and now we're going to start with network statement. So network, and we'll start injecting. To enable EIGRP, we need to enable it in this IP address, this network, because all these 4 routers, if you look at these 4 routers, they all share that network, which is /27. Yeah, so let's go and configure it. Okay, 172.16.10.0. That's it. Let's go to R2 and do the same configuration. We are in a global configuration mode, EIGRP 100 and network 172.16.10.0. When I press enter, we should form new adjacency, neighbor relationship with R1. And it's coming up. Yeah, new adjacency. That's good. So we need to go to R3 and configure it as well. Router EIGRP, we are in already global configuration mode, so I will just go through it quickly on these 3 other routers actually. So we have configured it already. This is the 3rd time I'm configuring it, so you should be familiar with it by now. And the network I'm given is that. What we can do is we can go to on R1. If on R4, if you see it, R4 have a neighbor relationship with R1 and 2 and 3, and it's got neighbor relationship with R5, and that is different network. So we need to inject 2 different network statements into R4, so it will form a neighbor relationship with R5. So if you go to R4, we are still in a router mode. So we need to inject another route, which is for the 54.1.1.0, and that's it. Let's go to R5 and go to global configuration mode, router EIGRP 100, and the network statement is 54.1.1.0, and it will form a neighbor relationship. If you look at the topology, the most interesting routing table that any router have is this router. If you go to R5, it's the most interesting router that have a, because it knows this route. Yeah, so if I go to R5, I will only see this route. Yeah, so let's go and check it, because our routing table is quite boring now. Show IB route, because there's not a lot of routes in there. Look at it, they're all local. There's only one route there. Yeah, so and if you go to R1 and go show IB route, that's the command you verify, there's only one route there. So what we will do is, if you look at it here, we have 5 IB address, all five. Yeah, so we will inject these routes into EIGRP. The way you do it is the same statement, network statement. If we go to R1 and go to global configuration mode, and let's inject a couple of routes. Router EIGRP 100, and you start with the network statement, and that was 11.1.1.0, and you go up. You can just change that to 2 and 3. That's the networks that we're injecting into. 4 and 5. That's the 5 networks. If you look at the topology, we have 5 networks here. Yeah, and if you look at our show IB interface brief, our interfaces, we have all those 5 interfaces up and ready to be connected. Okay, so since we inject 5 routes into the EIGRP, let's go and check R4. Let's go to R4 and check how R4 sees those networks. Show IB route. Now it looks interesting, you see. So all these routes are from R1, and let's go to R5 as well and do the same configuration. If you look at it before, all it had is connected local. The C means connected and local. Yeah, L is local. So if you look at it now, it's got all those D. D means dynamically LAN is EIGRP. So okay, so we're in a good place. What I'm going to do is I will configure R2 the same way. Then all you need to do is you need to use network statement, and I will stop the video and do all the other configuration the same way and come back. Okay, so network statement, and it's 12.1.1.0, and you go up the arrow and you just change that number to 2, because we have a network that is 2, and we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5. Yeah, if you look at the same routing table in R5, before we didn't have any 12s. Yeah, we only had 11 and 15. If you press it, you will see a lot of 12 networks that was injected into the routing table. So the routing table is big now. Okay, I will stop the video and configure all the rest. Now we only configure 2, but I will configure those other 3 and come back to you. Yeah, that's finished. So what we're going to do is, if you look at it here, I already did show IB route, and you can see all these routes, but let's just refresh it and do the same thing. Show IB route, press enter, you can see all these routes. So every single route that we have on our topology have been injected into EIGRP, and we can see all of them. If you look at it here, we see all of these routes in every single router. If we go to R2, we will see all these routes, and R2 is able to ping R5 is loopback address, let's say the first one. So let's confirm that. Let's verify. Let's go to R2 and do it. R2, where are you? Okay, so ping 15.1.1.1 should be able to ping. So that's 5 out of 5. It's good. Okay, one more verification. Show IB route EIGRP, and we will see only routes that was EIGRP, and you can see we see 11, we see 13, we see 14, and we see 15, and this is the link that's between R4 and 5. Okay, so that is all the verification we need. Thanks for watching.